How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you guys so much for coming out. Please help me welcome to the stage our MC and host tonight. You can hear her album on Sirius XM, and she will be in the feature film Bloodlines coming out soon. Please give it up nice and loud for Tracy Barkley.
What's up, everybody? How many geeks we got in here? Woo! I could smell you. I love it. I bet you're wondering, good Lord, did Carol Burnett and Chris Farley have a love child that no one knew about? Do you ever have one of those days that you think you're going crazy? I have had one of those days today. It all started when I was eating my usual breakfast of all bacon. And I realized that while I was eating it, I was also watching Charlotte's Web. And then I had this very creepy thought about a young lady perhaps in Korea having the same thought while watching Benji. Yeah. Then while I was driving here, I had my second psychopathic thought of the day. Everybody familiar with How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss? Well, I have a nephew that's obsessed with it, and I have to read it over and over again. So in my head, I've come up with an entirely new storyline about it. In my story, instead of just being some jerk that wants to come down the mountain and ruin everybody's Christmas, in my story, the Grinch is actually the only survivor of an ethnic cleansing that was perpetrated on the very peaceful Grinch by the evil Who. And the slaughter happened on Christmas. So for the last 20 years, he's been living up on that mountain tormented by his demons. And he finally snaps and figures out, I've got to take some revenge. So I'm just going to go down the mountain and take their Christmas presents. That's the worst thing he could think of to do, because remember, the Grinch are a peaceful people. But he fails, y'all. He failed, and now he has Stockholm Syndrome, and he's living with the people that wiped out his entire civilization. Did you ever think about that? No, because you're selfish, and all you think about is the Who and yourselves, y'all. How many of y'all came out last night and saw us in the main ballroom over at Sheraton? Okay. So that means I got to change up my shit a little bit for tonight. All right. What?
Did you drink the water? The Sheraton just they had to call fire trucks at a show just now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I was nowhere near the Sheraton. I want that known right now. Oh, Lord. Well, believe it or not, I was raised in a very small town in Alabama. The only thing my town had going for it was a flea market and a yearly festival that happened around Thanksgiving called Turkey Trot. Now, this was a festival that the main highlight of was that people would scale, and until People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals shut this part down in the early 90s, but people would scale to the top of our 20-story clock tower and throw live turkeys and chickens down at the crowd below, y'all. You can't make this shit up. Seriously, these poor flightless birds were just hurled at what could only be described as a redneck mosh pit, y'all. If you caught it, you kept it. And I have friends that still live in the town, and they tell me that they still kind of do it, but they throw Beanie Babies down. So if you catch a Beanie Baby, you get to trade it in for a frozen chicken or turkey. But it's still kind of hard because everybody's still greased up from the pig wrestling. Oh, Lord. As you can tell, I love to eat. Eating is probably one of my favorite things to do. And I've tried everything in my life to try to lose weight. Probably the craziest thing I ever did was become a vegan for 5 years. Yeah, I'm in recovery. And don't let anyone tell you that they're not fat vegans, because that's a lie. You know, grains, fruits, vegetables, all wonderful, healthy vegan foods. You know what's also vegan? Oreos, red wine, peanut butter, and Mountain Dew, y'all. And therein lied my problem, because I was a Whole Foods vegan, which meant whatever I ate the whole thing. But I have to be honest, cheese was the gateway drug that led me back to eating meat. Started out real innocently. I was just over at the Kroger snorting a little Parmesan. Then I found myself starting to finger some of their finer Swiss. I realized it was just a matter of time before I ended up over at the Honey Bake giving head for ham. So I decided I might as well just take the plunge and dive right back in there. The meat part, not the head part. Let me clarify. But I think cheese should be its own religion. Just go with this. On a Saturday morning at 8 a.m., instead of a Jehovah's Witness or someone ringing your doorbell, wouldn't it be much nicer if there was just a well-dressed group of people there with, let's say, a cheese platter? And they had some nice focaccia, some pink sea salt, a little bit of olive oil. I might invite them in and make a donation. They could even tell me about the good news of their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, y'all. He's the curd in the way, if you didn't know. But whatever religion you may have been raised this is Skeptrack, so I'm hoping I'm not talking to any religious people in here right now. But if you are, cover your ears for this next portion. But whatever religion you were, whether it's cheese or whatever, had to be better than the religion I was raised in. I was raised Pentecostal. And if you don't know what that is, it's the women with the really high hair, because the higher your hair, the closer you are to Jesus. Really long skirts, because women have the devil between their legs. At least they did for me, because I later came out as a lesbian. I don't think the two are related, but you never know. But they do weird things like speak in tongues. My father's church handled snakes, y'all. That is some Anglo-Saxon fuckery right there. But I could usually kind of blend in. The thing that scared me the most was the speaking in tongues, y'all. That's frightening to a child. It really is. But I would try to blend in, kind of fake it. So while everybody else was speaking in tongues, I was saying my ABCs in Klingon. But the preacher's wife had it in for me, y'all. She decided she was going to exorcise me of whatever demon she had. So she came up to me several Sundays trying to lay those healing hands on me, where they knock you backwards and you're healed. Well, she came at me with that, and I would run from her, try to get away from her. But one Sunday, she would not be denied, y'all. So I ran up front and kind of blended in with the tambourine dancers. Kind of started jumping around, speaking in Klingon, hoping she'd leave me alone. Didn't work. There was carpet on the gallery, y'all. And I built up a little bit of static electricity on my hands. I reached out to push her away. There was a snap and a crackle, and she went down, y'all. I looked at her and said, "How do you like it, bitch?" That's science. Walked out of there like a boss. Was really scared, though, really scared to come out to my parents because my mother was a very religious person. So I decided I needed to be honest. So went home and I dropped 2 very bad pieces of information on her in one weekend, y'all. 1, I was a lesbian. 2, I was a vegan. She reacted better to the lesbian part. She looked at me and said, "Do you mean to tell me you'll eat a cooter, but you won't eat this meatloaf?" Get the hell out of my house with that evil. My mom is one of those that was a very strict disciplinarian. Anyone have a mom like that? Good old Southern mom? Very strict disciplinarian. I mean, she used to whip us with a paint stirrer. Yeah, I can't even walk past Sherman Williams without doing a full body shiver, y'all. You remember that kid that got into the gorilla's cage at the Cincinnati Zoo and got a Hammurabi shot? If that had been me, if my mom, that would never have happened. My mom would have grabbed me, held me over the gorilla cage. Like Michael Jackson did his baby that time. And was, "Oh, you want to go near the gorilla? I'll put you near the gorilla. Don't do that again." But luckily, they kind of accepted me, and I got a great family. I can't complain. But I'm going to bring up someone else. That's my time, but I'm going to bring up someone else that is one of the funniest men I've ever met in my life. You can catch both his specials on Amazon Prime. Let me bring up somebody that's the very, very funny lady. You may have seen her on HBO. She's also a co-host of Neil deGrasse Tyson's Star Talk. Give it up for a very funny lady, Miss Leanne Lord.
Hi, everybody. Y'all do me a favor. Give Tracy a big round of applause. You know, it's so funny. She was talking about not being religious. Well, here's the thing. I'm not religious. I'm not religious. That's how I get invited here. That's how that works. But I've been single a while, so the idea of a man speaking in tongues kind of has a different appeal. All right, laugh at my pain, whatever. I'm trying to catch a man and y'all ha ha ha, whatever. Are we loving the con this year? Oh man, I talked a little bit about this last night, but I think coming here, it's my happy place. It's where we get to kind of de-stress. Would y'all agree? I mean, not walking through the habit trail, that's real stressful. But I mean the overall DragonCon experience, because I don't know if you know this, I read this the other day. The #1 killer in the United States right now is stress. The #2 killer is a dude on my block named Quan. Actually, I'm sorry, it's Killer Quan, because, branding. Look for him on Instagram. But man, I don't know, is it life? Is it adult life? Is life more stressful because we're grown? I mean, round of applause if at any point in your adult life, you have been stressed out about money. Applaud if you have been stressed out. Exactly, and y'all still gonna go to the dealer's mart, huh? Yeah, no, money's stressful. I read this in the Wall Street Journal, said 46% of Americans are stressed out about their debt. Now, the other 54% are at peace with it because they got no intention of paying that shit back. Oh, y'all are with me on team 54%. Oh man, listen. I'll be a little transparent. My debt is my fault because I like shopping. I love shopping. Yeah, listen, it's real. Listen, it got so bad for me, I actually had to go to a Shopaholics Anonymous meeting. I met some really nice people, and now we all shop together. I actually, I shopped for this. This is new. I got this for y'all. I hope y'all like it. If any of the jokes stop working, just look at the dress. Just look at the dress. That's all I need. Yeah, but I know I got this, and listen, here's why I got it on sale. $10. Yes. Now, you know what that means. I'll never be able to wash it. The best I might be able to do here is Febreze it. Hope it don't disintegrate. But yeah, no, I most of my shopping now, I guess like all of y'all, it's online now. It's online, that's what I do. Anybody here like Zappos? Do you know Zappos.com? Yeah, Zappos. If you don't know it, Zappos is like Amazon for shoes. It's amazing. Like these boots, you guys, I just got these boots yesterday, right? Which is crazy because I ordered them today. So like either their customer service is that good or my UPS man went to Hogwarts. I don't know. Go Ravenclaw. Anyway, man. Listen, I don't have no hate for Slytherin. It's my secondary house. Because when you need some shit done, you get a Slytherin. Hufflepuff ain't gonna bring it home, come on. A Hufflepuff will visit you in jail, a Slytherin will break you out of jail. Slytherin will also be the reason why you were in jail. Oh man, but you guys, here's the deal. I've actually tried to do better. I'm trying to be a more responsible adult. Whatever. Well, no, I am. I downloaded that money management app called Mint. Do y'all know Mint? Okay, yeah. I input all of my financial information, and it said that my lifestyle is unsustainable. So I deleted the app, and I bought a new phone. Because I felt like I needed a fresh start. Man, I am not digging adult life at all. That's the other cool thing. You get to come to DragonCon and you don't have to worry about it, right? You just get to be. Man, because I love what I do, but oh my gosh, you guys, it's really hard being self-employed, man. I can't call in sick. I know I'm lying. Yeah. Round of applause if you have ever been stressed on your job. Round of applause if you've ever been stressed on your job. Of course. It's insane, man. Listen, I wouldn't go back. I would not go back. I used to have a 9-to-5, okay? And it was in corporate communications at a multinational financial services firm. Oh. Here's what that means. I used to find out about layoffs before everybody else. But I wasn't allowed to say anything. So the best I could do was hint. Like, hey, I hear you buying a house. I wouldn't do that. You might want to put that on hold. God, I was actually supposed to get laid off from that job too, but I found out about it. I beat him to the punch. I went out on disability. Yeah, carpal tunnel's a bitch. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But you know, I think one of the things that would make work less stressful. Here's what I wish. I wish, you know, if we get to call out sick. I wish we could get to call out sick and tired. Right? Like, no, I'm okay. I just don't feel like dealing with your bullshit. Shoot, I want us to get to the point where we could call out happy. Right? Like, yeah, I'm not coming in today because I'm in a really good headspace right now. And I don't want you people fucking it up, right? I feel like here's what makes work stressful. We have, I don't know if there's so many articles, Wall Street Journal, Fortune, Barron's, and they all talk about productivity, this obsession with productivity, right? Because it seems like the more technology we have, the more productive we're expected to be. So you got human beings competing with machines. I've seen this movie. I don't like how it ends. Thank you, Skynet. It's ridiculous, man. Like, the articles about productivity really get me. Like, what makes human beings, what makes people more productive? Is it an open office? Is it a standing desk? Oh, let's put a treadmill at your standing desk. What? Hamsters are looking at us like, doesn't feel good, does it? Listen, adult life, you got to do what you got to do to put food on the table. But I wish everybody, at least at one point in their lives, got to have that dream job, that thing they just want to do because they want to do it, right? Can I tell you, I love this, but you know what my dream job is? You know what I really want to do? Oh my gosh. I want to be a dominatrix bartender. I already have the boots, all right? Here's how it works. You can order whatever you want. You're going to get whatever I give you. Don't give me any back talk. Or you get a backhand. That's how that works. Man. I'm not sure. Well, I've heard that stripping is very lucrative, but I think I missed my window. That's not funny. Well, here's the deal. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very good dancer. But I have plantar fasciitis, and I'm anemic. That means my feet hurt, and I'm always cold. So unless I get to strip in slippers and a sweater, you know, coming to the main stage, it's Winnie the Pooh, you know. Some of y'all just got that visual, right? That shit costs extra. Come on now. But man, no, this is where I come. DragonCon is where I come, and I get to de-stress, man. Because do you know what I find really stressful? Relationships, right? Or the lack thereof. Oh my gosh, I was seeing a guy. I was dating somebody, and you guys, straight up, he didn't pop the question. Okay. Instead, he asked me how I felt about having an open marriage. And I was like, well, that depends on how you feel about having an open casket. Checkmate. And relationships are crazy, insane. And here's the thing, I didn't realize how difficult dating was. I didn't realize how difficult dating was until I saw this documentary about women who are dating men in prison. Now, I don't know what these ladies are thinking, like, well, he may not be coming home to me, but at least I know where he is. Like, what? They had one woman in there who married a serial killer. Now, maybe my standards are a little too high, but murder's a deal breaker for me. Because here's the thing, at some point during our relationship, you gonna feel like killing me. I need to know that you can resist that urge. I will say this. I find dating to be very instructive on a personal level. At the very least, besides dinner, you should learn a lot about yourself, right? Like, I've learned that I'm old-fashioned, right? I like men with manners. Open my door, pull out my chair, don't use a roofie. All right, not so hard on fast on that. Here's how old-fashioned I am, and please don't judge me too harshly. I still send greeting cards. Okay. Oh, thank you. But now, if you do that, you'll understand. Sometimes it's really hard to buy a card for the person you love when you're mad at them. Right? Like, no card quite covers that duality of sentiment. Like, happy birthday, motherfucker. Hate you. Hallmark don't make that. You gotta do that when yourself in crayon. Like, yeah. I'm old-fashioned, man. I'm old-fashioned. Here's how old-fashioned I am. I still think it's impolite to ask a woman her age, right? But it happens. So now, whenever a man asks me how old I am, I ask him if he's good in bed. Yeah. See, that way we both know we about to lie. Can I tell you guys this? Oh my God, I actually did ask a man that once. Yeah, and he was like, well, I've never had any complaints. What does that mean, sir? I can look you up on Yelp? I need to start reading reviews. I mean, I'm Amazon Prime. Please do not make me waste my free shipping. Oh, man. I'm so glad to be here with y'all. This is, I keep saying it's my happy place, and it really is, man. I enjoy DragonCon. I enjoy, I just enjoy being, I don't know, in big tent nerdy, man. Somebody asked me, they said, Leanne, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a nerd are you? And I said, 42. Thank you, Hitchhikers fans. Oh my God. For anybody else that didn't get it, so long and thanks for all the fish. Oh man, I love Hitchhikers. My favorite costume, I didn't see her this year. I saw her a couple years ago. This girl had her costume, her cosplay was a bowl of petunias on her shoulder with a sign that said, "Oh no, not again." And I'm like, oh my God, bitch, you win. You so win. Oh man, I do the cosplay here. I've been to other cons. There's nothing like DragonCon. There really isn't. And I know that because it's hard to explain DragonCon to muggles. Yes, and I do have muggle friends. I do, because, diversity. We're supposed to be fair now, whatever. And my friends try. They're like, well, yeah, what's DragonCon? Is that like Comic-Con but with dragons? I'm like, yes. Yes, it is. I rode the elevator with 3 of them. That's why one of the elevators in the Sheraton is shut down. When they get it working, there's 3 dragons in there. And none of them belong to Khaleesi because she couldn't keep her kids alive. Really? Really? Worst dragon mother ever! Don't get me started. I don't want to go there. I'm still hurt. But I do. Have you seen this costume? Have you seen this one? I've seen a bunch of dudes just randomly wearing bathrobes. Right? Yeah. And they're cosplaying as Arthur Dent. And I'm like, dude, I see you. That's some lazy shit. Like, you literally just took that out of your hamper. And I know that because I can smell you. Tequila and nachos. But I do think the cosplay here is amazing. Here's how amazing the cosplay here is. You look weird if you're not cosplaying. Right? It's like, you see something, say something. We got to report this dude. Right. So much fun. And here, the other thing, and I guess because we're trying to be fair and progressive, you are not supposed to, we don't body shame here at DragonCon. No, not out loud. But sometimes you see shit and, you got to catch yourself. Right, you can't unsee it, and it's like you need to speak it into the universe, and it's like you'll see like an out of shape superhero and just get fucked up, like Batman. Did you eat Robin? I'm so sad now. I got to get back over to the dealer's mart to get the stuff I've earmarked. Man. Have you guys been? Do you go? Do you go? Oh man, I have this love-hate relationship with the dealer's mart, right? Because you go and you see things you never knew you needed, and now you absolutely have to have, right? Like I was there, and I was like, oh, is that a tiara? I need a tiara. So I have a tiara. Oh my God. And it was, I acted exactly like Amy from The Big Bang Theory. Put it on me, put it on me, put it on me, put it on me. I am a princess. But I've been coming to DragonCon long enough that I know that you have to have a plan when you go to the dealer's mart. Do not go by yourself. For that way lies madness. Okay? Very least, the minimum you need to go with a friend, you need a battle plan, and an exit strategy. Because I see people going by themselves and they freak out. Dude was in there, he's like, oh man, I need some fake elf ears. And I went, boo. They're all fake. But I didn't say that because I was wearing a tiara at the time. So my credibility was a little low. I love my tiara, man. I actually wear my tiara around the house so everybody knows that I am the queen of the castle, which is weird because I live alone. And it's a little much to wear at the supermarket. But perfectly fine to wear at the Apple store. Yes, yeah, they just think I'm Queen of the Genius Bar. It's amazing. So amazing. I was in Dealers Mart, and I heard a dude say, man, I need a sword. Now, some context here. He was not dressed as a pre-World War I soldier, nor was he cosplaying as a samurai. He was just a regular dude in jeans and a t-shirt. So already, weirdo. And I got curious. I wanted to ask questions. I'm like, excuse me, sir, are you gonna cosplay later as a Highlander? Thank you. Are you joining the Night's Watch? Because let's be honest, if you are about to take the black and walk the wall, then yeah, you need a sword. Okay? But if you just got a regular old 9-to-5 job, you don't need a sword. You need a batleth. Cut down on these unnecessary staff meetings. Some of y'all like, oh shit, yeah. So I guess I'm hoping I have Star Trek fans in the room who understand what I'm saying. Oh man, I love Star Trek, man. You know what? I'm not even a comic that does impressions. I'm not good like that, like Ian is. But I'll do a tribble, like that's all I got. That's all I got, man. My person that introduced me to Star Trek was my mom. My mom was the first Trekkie I ever knew. Yeah, no, it was awesome, man. We used to watch the reruns together. She bought me my first uniform, my Lieutenant Uhura, of course. She took me to my first Star Trek convention. Okay, yeah, and we had matching sweatshirts that said, "Beam me up, Scotty, this planet sucks." It was wild, man, it was wild. We actually got hit on by a couple of Klingons. Next generation female Klingons. So yeah, hashtag me too. Yeah, yeah, because you don't turn that down. Kepler. I mean, I might have stood a chance if I was Bajoran, but nah, wasn't even wearing my ear cuff. No. Thank you very much. Yeah, the Admiral level, clearly. Like, I feel this is what I would wear if I were on the Enterprise and there was a party at Ted Forward. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just ready. Because I love Next Generation, because Jean-Luc Picard, to me, I hear the women already. One or two guys going, ooh, yes. He's the sexiest captain ever. Oh my God, he's British, he's bald, he's British. What is not to love there? I mean, because of him, I really think my stripper name would be Earl Grey Hot. Like, love him so much. But you know what? It's almost hard to choose. They make it hard to choose because I also love Captain Sisko. Thank you, my DS9 fans. Doesn't his name sound like a name of a drink? Right? I'll have a Captain Sisko on the rocks, please. Oh my God, love him so much. Here's how much I love Avery Brooks. Avery Brooks is Captain Sisko. I don't even care that he has a restraining order out on me. Because true love forgives, everybody. True love forgives. I liked Voyager. It was a little problematic for me, though, because I had a hard time with the idea that the first female captain in the franchise is the one who gets lost? Seriously? Wouldn't she just pull the ship over, ask for directions? The show would have been over by the first commercial break, clearly. You know what I'm loving right now? And I have to find, I didn't see the shirt when I went over to the market. I have to get the disco shirt because I love Star Trek Discovery. Like, oh, that is my show. Is anybody else watching it? Anybody got past the paywall? Oh man, I love her so much. I love the character, man. Just a black woman who was raised on Vulcan. That's my dream. I am so jealous because deep down, I guess I've always kind of identified as a cis hetero Vulcan of color. That's me. Man. Here's the thing about Star Trek Discovery, though. It is not like Next Generation, TNG or DS9, because you can never call it by its initials. Because Star Trek Discovery is STD. We gonna stick with disco. I know I talked about this last night, but after much encouragement, I have finally started watching Enterprise, everybody. Yes. And can I tell you the best part about watching Enterprise now is being able to fast forward past that dumbass opening theme song. It's been a long road, getting from there to here. No, it hasn't. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, back to the show. And if you think I'm kidding, 1 minute, 15 seconds. Oh my God. I'm up to season 4. I've really been powering through it. I'm up to season 4. And I just saw the episode where you get to meet the black man that invented the transporter. Yeah, which tells me that even in the 22nd century, a brother might feel the need to make a quick getaway. It's like, ooh, is that a gang of white men with tiki torches? One to beam up. Oh, y'all gonna act like we don't have a problem? Okay. Y'all stay here while I beam away. Here's the thing. I would have watched Enterprise a long time ago if somebody had told me there was a dog in it. I didn't know. Captain Pinkskin, he had a cute little beagle, just adorable, so adorable, and absolutely useless. He was not a good guard dog at all. Second season, they got boarded. The ship got boarded and taken over like every week. Where was the dog? In the captain's cabin, eating cheese. Like, seriously? He didn't bark at nobody. He didn't chase nobody down. He didn't even pee on nobody. I'm like, dude, what is the point of you, right? Which I guess is why, you can have a mother of dragons. You cannot have a mother of beagles. Beagles ain't burning down King's Landing. Oh my God. Okay, listen, I'm sorry, guys. I really do not want to talk about Game of Thrones because I'm really not over it. I feel, let me just say this. Okay, season 8. What the fuck was that? I really feel like I got out of a long-term relationship that should have ended 2 years ago. All right, I'm like, after everything we've been through together, this is how you do me? This is how you treat our love? The North remembers. So I'm saying. Somebody told me, because I don't read all the stuff online, but apparently the writers, producers, whoever of Game of Thrones were trying to hurry up and get done because they wanted to go and do Star Wars. And I'm like, do what? Fuck it up? Come on, listen. I like Star Wars, but I'm very confused by the franchise now. Like is BB-8, is that like the Star Wars version of Scrappy-Doo? Like, what is happening? I saw The Last Jedi, and listen, the parts I was awake for were very good. Thank you. I am perfectly comfortable making y'all laugh one at a time. I'll tell you this, though. I thought Kylo Ren, man, I saw him. I'm like, ooh, he looked like a young Professor Snape. First time he popped on the screen, I'm like, what up, Slytherin? Adorable. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound like it. I do like Star Wars. I'm clearly way more Star Trek. But here's the thing. I don't understand the rivalry between Star Trek and Star Wars. To me, it's all sci-fi big love. Like, if we could just all come together on the fact that we had lonely childhoods. We'd be all right. Oh, man. And here's the thing. I know Star Trek better than Star Wars. I know Star Wars better than comic books. I didn't grow up reading comic books, right? But I'll go to the movies, the superhero movies. But because I didn't read the comic books, I have no idea what's happening, right? Like, I saw Infinity War, and we got to the end of it, and I was fucked up in the game, okay? I had to call my therapist, okay? But she had just seen it too, so we both crying on the phone. Like, damn you, Thanos. And so of course, because I saw Infinity War, I of course now had to go see Avengers Endgame, and I don't know what was longer, Endgame or Aretha Franklin's funeral. Like, what? Like, why are we doing extra innings? Can we please cut this down? I guess, I don't know, I go in not knowing what to expect, and I get disappointed. Like, I was kind of disappointed seeing Batman versus Superman. And yeah, and by disappointed, I mean I asked for my money back. Because that whole movie could have not been made if somebody had just said, Batman, dude, chill. Take a vacation. Read a book, start a garden. See, that's why we can't have nice things. Now, on the other side, the complete other side, Thor Ragnarok is hilarious. Oh my God. But let me tell you, I am firmly Team Hela. Okay, Thor and Loki's older sister? Because here's it, didn't read the comic books, didn't know. I'm watching the movie, and I'm taking her backstory real personal. I'm like, so once again, a woman does all the work, a man takes all the credit, and she gets cut out of the deal? Oh, hell no. Burn it all down, bitch. Burn it all down. That's why I guess I liked Wonder Woman so much, man. I'm looking forward to the next movie, man, where she fights homegrown American Nazis. That's gonna be hot. Y'all are resisting. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just... oh my God, can we talk about Aquaman, the movie, for a hot second? Okay. See, this is why another reason why I love coming to DragonCon, because you learn things from other nerds that you may not have known, and they fill in your blind side. So somebody told me, and I don't know if it's true, somebody told me that Aquaman, the movie, had a plot. All I remember is staring at him for 2 hours and 22 delightful minutes. I mean, just staring at, listen, I saw that movie and I forgot how to swim. I went to the beach like, help, help, save me, Aquaman, save me. Splash, splash. Because listen, Jason Momoa, that's a beautiful human being. But I try not to say his name. I prefer to refer to him as Mr. Lisa Bonet's husband. Because that keeps me honest and reminds me that that man is well and truly married. But should she meet an untimely demise, I'm gonna be at the funeral in a bikini and stilettos going, save me, Aquaman. Splash, splash. Oh, man. Although, listen, I think, I shouldn't say of course, because there are a few outliers, but my favorite was of course, Black Panther. Oh. I don't know if any of y'all were here earlier today. We did a Black Panther panel. Well, it was the science of Wakanda, and we were doing the yearly science update, and that was really, really, really pretty cool. But that movie, it was just so amazing. Like, I saw it opening weekend in the hood because I thought that was the right thing to do, to really, really appreciate it. And I had to say, I have not seen that many happy Black people in one place since election 2008. That was just... I'm standing online like, are we voting? Is this T'Challa 2020? Like, what's happening? This is awesome. Here's the thing. Because this was so massive, opening weekend, Friday the theater was packed. Saturday the theater was packed. Sunday the theater was packed. Like nobody went to church that day. Right, which I hope is a trend. But like it was packed. Like even preachers were in there. Like, yeah, Jesus, I'm sorry. It's Black Panther. Wakanda forever. But because that movie brought in a lot of people that are not necessarily Marvel fans or have been to other Marvel movies, they didn't know that, when the movie ended, they got up to leave. Right. But it was a mixed audience. It was normal people and nerds, right? So the black nerds were like, hey, fam, nah, don't go. There's more. And they were like, word? We were like, word. It was a wonderful unifying moment. Oh my gosh. But everybody assumes, everybody's into, King T'Challa, but I kind of like my man on the big side. So, yeah, that Jabari dude, M'Baku, I'd climb that. Like, hello, sir. How are you? And just cling. That movie, it did so much and it changed so much. It's like, who would have thought that someday we'd be barking at white people? Just saying things like, silence, colonizer. That never gets old. Oh, man. But I do think out of everything, I love it all, but first and foremost, I am a Star Trek fan. Because, my first thing is the thing that brought me in to nerddom. And Star Trek has something very special about it. It has the prime directive. They don't always follow it. But the prime suggestion, yes. But that's very good. That is the idea, if you don't know, is the idea of non-interference. You do not interfere with, less advanced species and people. And I have actually found that comes in handy when dating. These are transferable skills. But I know I gotta go, but I don't want to leave you guys with the wrong impression. I talk about dating, I talk about the search for love on occasion. It's kind of like the search for Spock. But I don't complain about it. I talk about it, I don't complain. I don't mean to. Because if the end game is love, I'll play that game all day long, right? Because no matter how hard we think dating is, you guys know it's way worse for other species, right? There's an octopus with a detachable penis. Truth, when they're ready to mate, the penis detaches, floats off, attaches to the female. Can you imagine? You are standing at the bar, minding your business. All of a sudden, whose penis is this? Seriously, guys, this is a brand new dress. Whose penis is this? It'd be easy to tell the popular girls all covered in penises. Here's the thing, though. If you really want to make it go away, it's so easy. You just look at it and go, oh. Whose cute little tiny penis is this? And then it just floats away. Right? Yes. You're thinking, oh, it's not pre-cum, it's crying. That's too far on a Saturday night? Oh, man, listen. Y'all didn't know this, but man, if y'all into big love, this is the best Saturday night date I've had in a while, man. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. And if you know what, if the feeling is mutual, if you have enjoyed me tonight, my name is Leanne Lord. If you have not enjoyed me tonight, my name is Jada Pinkett Smith. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much. You've been so wonderful.
Keep it going for Leanne, everyone. Look her up on social media if you want to laugh a day. She's got more than enough, trust me. And also a very funny gentleman I'm about to bring to the stage. He is one of the best comedians I've ever seen, my mentor in the business. He's taken me under his wing. He's been so kind to me, and I love him to death. You can find both of his specials on Amazon Prime. And he's been on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Give it up for Ian Harris.
Let's keep it going one more time for Tracy and Leanne, please. It's so great. That last story Leanne told about the penis, that's how we met. A lot of people don't know that it detaches. So, yeah, it's a little embarrassing. But welcome, DragonCon. This is great. Skeptrack, clap if you're a skeptic. You might just be at the show. You might not be a skeptic. That's cool. I identify as a skeptic. I do a lot of my comedy comes from skepticism. It's, I'm just one of these people. Like you have to prove shit to me scientifically. Like that's just kind of how I think. That's kind of how I'm wired, And I'm also very argumentative, which means like if I'm in a conversation with you, whether it's like in person or online, I physically can't remove myself from a situation if you say something factually inaccurate. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't fucking do it, right? I have to nerd-splain everything to death. Like, I'm like, wait, no, let me explain why you're wrong. Please, just really quick. Just give me a couple hours here, and I will explain. Cite source. Anybody else like that? Anybody else like me? Yeah? Anyone else? Cool. A few assholes? Great. That's good to know. My daughter, though, I got a daughter. She's 14. She's awesome, and she is like me. Not an asshole. She's just like has the same exact. I watch. I'm like, oh my god, this is my kid. So we have this rule at my house since day one that there's no such thing as bad words in my house. I don't believe in bad words. I believe in bad intentions. And I told her that, yes. I said, no such thing as bad words, only bad intentions. And I knew she got it, and I knew her little wheels were turning. She's 14 now, but when she was 6 years old, I knew it. I picked her up from school, first grade, and she gets in the car. She goes, Dad, let me ask you a question. Is crap a bad word? And she goes, I know. There's no such thing as bad words. That's not my question. My question is, do people think that crap is a bad word? And I go, I don't know. I never thought about that. Why do you ask? She goes, well, at my school, none of the kids seem to think that poop is a bad word. Half the kids at my school think that crap is a bad word, but all the kids at my school think shit is a bad word. She goes, but they mean the same shit. And I'm like, that's the shit I'm talking about right there. And she's like, yeah, fuck that shit. I'm like, fucking A. It's awesome. Love my kid. I'm in the entertainment industry. I'm a skeptic, so I love television, but it's so hard to watch because there's got to be, conservatively what? There's 400 paranormal shows on TV? I don't even know. Jesus Christ, there's Bigfoot and there's fucking ghost hunters and ghost explorers and fucking ghost fucking, I don't even know. Like, it's everything ghosts, and I can't watch it. My wife watches them because she thinks they're hilarious, but I just can't get into it, man. But here's the other thing, is they call it a reality show. It's not a reality show. They have a cast. Every one of those shows, regardless of what you're watching, Ghost or Bigfoot, it has the same 4 characters. Everyone has a true believer. Right? Everyone has the expert, the person that knows whatever it is they're talking. Like the ghost person is always the medium who can talk to the ghost. That guy's always a little bit overweight. He's got a big mustache, and he always sounds like a Southern theater director, right? There are evil spirits in this house. She doesn't like the way you've rearranged the furniture. She wants you out, bitch, right? That's like... There's always a skeptic, but he's never really a skeptic. He's a guy who says he's a skeptic, and they put that guy on there to make it look like they're doing some sort of honest scientific investigation, which they're not. And the only reason we know he's a skeptic is because he says so. He goes, I'm a skeptic. You got to prove shit to me. You know what I mean? I'm scientifically based, you know, like I'm hardwired that way. Like, you want to prove there's a ghost? I better see some scientific evidence there's a ghost. You want to prove to me that there's a Bigfoot? I better see some scientific hard data that there is a Bigfoot. That being said, about a minute ago, I heard a rustling over there in them bushes, and based on this new evidence, I'd say there's at least 4 or 5 large Sasquatches currently planning our demise, scientifically speaking. My favorite character on those shows, though, is the techie, because the techie's the guy that's responsible for making all their scientific equipment. Right, he's the guy that makes the EVP recorder, right, or the plasmograph, or the heatometer, or the shit that doesn't exist a phone, right? He's that guy. He's not a scientist himself, right? He's more like a Scientologist or something, right? Like he's a Scientographer, maybe. I don't know. He has the most, I will say though, that guy usually has the most education. That guy's usually got 5 or 6 years of junior college. You know what I mean? Like, he is super educated. He's the guy that can tell you if there's a hot spot or a cold spot. I love that one. Because they go, oh, so there's a hot spot here. What does a hot spot indicate? A hot spot usually indicates a ghost. But a hot spot indicates a friendly ghost, you know, of your Casper variety. And you're like, oh, okay, what does a cold spot indicate then? A cold spot indicates a ghost, but usually an evil ghost, something you might see on a Ghostbusters, like a gatekeeper, or a keymaster, or a Zool, or a Slimer, or something like that. You're like, oh, okay, what do warm spots indicate? Warm spots generally indicate proper insulation, unfortunately. I love the cold spot circular reasoning. That's always fun, right? You're like, whoa, so this is interesting. How did you find out that a cold spot equaled a ghost? And they're like, that is a great question. I'm glad you asked that. You see, every time we would go into these haunted houses, we kept finding ourselves some cold spots. You're like, oh, all right. And how did you determine that the cold spot was a ghost? They're like, well, these houses are haunted by ghosts. Yeah, and how do you know that they're haunted by ghosts? Because we keep finding cold spots. Are you fucking stupid or something? How do you not follow this logic? Yeah, I live in California, so I'm surrounded by alternative medicine all the time. I'm not a big fan of alternative medicine. Look, I don't have anything against it, though. If you can prove it to be scientifically, the way we prove all medicine to work, I'm fine, right? That's happened before. There's been stuff that started out kind of alternative that every now that we prove, and okay, scientifically, double-blind study, yes, it's medicine now, right? We do that, but most of the time they don't. Most of the time they hide behind the dietary supplement label so they don't have to prove their effectiveness. If you remember a few years ago, there was a company called Airborne. Airborne got sued for $23 million because they faked all of their clinical trials. And I don't know how anybody was fooled by this product in the first place. Remember it? Remember the commercials? Airborne, take it at the first sign of a cold. Developed by a teacher who is tired of getting sick. That's all it takes? 200 years of medical research, and all we needed was one teacher who was mad as hell. I'm not going to take the sniffles anymore. How great would it be if we could solve all of our problems that way? Perpetual motion finally invented by a hillbilly who ran out of gas, right? I tell you what, man, I was driving my motherfucking El Camino down the goddamn freeway, dude, and that thing just took a goddamn shit on me right there, dude. I had no money, man. I had no gasoline. I have a red cent to my name, and I said to myself right then, I said, you know what you need to do, Cletus? You need to invent yourself one of them 0-point energy machines, right? I said, fuck combustion. That's what I did. I put my foot down. I said, fuck combustion. Here we are, cut to 5 years later. I got one of them Nobel Prizes in physics. Who'd have thunk it? Airborne has a cartoon on the box. Would you buy medicine with a cartoon on the box? If you went to pick up your lithium or whatever, I don't know why I pointed at you. I don't know why. You look like maybe lithium. You hear voices. I don't know. No, if you went to pick up whatever it is you're on, and there was like a Calvin and Hobbes on there, And it had like, you know, would you believe it? Had like, Hobbes had his arm around Calvin. Is like, once you take this, you'll no longer be able to hear me. Would you buy it? I don't know. I wouldn't. But I always got my friends like, there's a problem right there, man. Big pharma, dude. Big pharma. They're trying to fuck everything up, man. There's a cure for everything, and we're never going to find out. There's a cure for cancer. We're never going to find out about the cure for cancer. You know why? Because big pharma's keeping the cure down because there's too much money in the treatment. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting premise. Too much money in the treatment, yeah? Let me look at that. So I started thinking about how much money would have to be in the treatment of cancer to keep cancer down. And I thought about there are millions of people involved in the cancer industry worldwide. You have oncologists, you have other forms of doctors, you have researchers and scientists, and you have nonprofit organizations and colleges worldwide working on the cure for cancer. Somebody comes up with a cure for cancer, and one pharmaceutical company is making so much money that they can pay all these people off to keep quiet. And then I thought about it. What if I was one of those people? What would it take to keep me quiet about the cure for cancer? And I couldn't do it. I couldn't think of a single number that would work to keep me quiet about the cure for cancer. And then I realized that's because I am not a greedy person. And so I had to ask my greedy friends, my money-grubbing, my non-conscience, like my Republican friends. I asked them, I said, what would it take to keep quiet about cancer? And even they were like, sorry, dude, there's no number. So I threw a magical number on it. I said, let's say that we could everyone in this room could be quiet for $20 million. I added 20 million times millions worldwide. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but I can tell you this. That is something to the something power, and we'd have to pay those people in euros because US dollars don't even fucking go that high anymore, okay? There is no cure for cancer, okay? We're gonna have to wait for one smoker to finally get angry enough to... I'm no doctorologist, but I smoke enough to know. I hear that conspiracy theory thing. I always hear that on dick pills. Male enhancement? You know what I mean? Like, do you hear the radio commercials? They're like, there's like Enzyte and Extends and Hero Tabs, and I was like, Hero Tabs, we've got the formula. Guaranteed to make your penis bigger and thicker and fuller than any penis in history. We've got the formula the drug companies don't want you to know about. And I'm always like, why do the drug companies care how big my dick is? That's really what I want to know. I could understand if the psychiatric industry was behind it. They have something to lose. Fellow psychiatrists, we've got to do something about this dick-growing formula. Ever since men's penises are larger, we've lost 75% of our clients. Depression in men is virtually cured. And now women are beginning to cheer up as well. We need to get these dicks back down to a depressing size. Johnson, you've got a small one. Give us the answer. No, there's no cure for a small dick, folks. We're just going to have to wait for one monster truck rally fan to finally get angry enough. There will be a cure someday for small. I don't know when, but I do know that day will be Sunday. Sunday. So, I was, speaking of big trucks, I was in California. I was driving my car. I was on the freeway in Los Angeles, and I was behind a Suburban, and it had a bumper sticker that said, "Chemtrails kill." And I felt like it should say, "Chemtrails kill, ... dude," but it didn't. But here's my thing. My first thought was, I'm like, you're driving an 18-passenger, 4-gallon to the mile urban assault vehicle on a road with millions of other cars, and you're worried about water vapor that's happening at 35,000 feet. And it's water vapor. We know what contrails are. Contrails have existed since airplanes have existed, and it's at 35,000 feet. It couldn't even, with air streams, there was not even get down here. If it did, it would be, what, a part per gazillion or something? It could never get down here, right? But everyone here knows at least one person. Or maybe that person is like hacky-sacked up to you at a Target somewhere, right? Like, no way, dude. Fucking chemtrails are real, bro. Fucking government conspiracy, dog. Trying to fucking... Government, man. Government's trying to mind control us, man. They put some stuff into the jet fuel and they fly over and it sprays us and it gets in our groundwater and we drink it, and it's a government conspiracy for mass mind control. And I'm like, the government? The government's doing this? Oh my God, our government? You mean the United States government? You mean the same government that can't deliver my neighbor's mail to me on time? Is that the government we're talking? Are we talking about the same government that allowed the city of Flint, Michigan's water to have more lead in it than 50 Cent? Is that the government we're talking about? There is so much lead in a glass of water in Flint, Michigan, Superman can't see through a glass of it, okay? They allowed that to slip through the cracks, yet they've convinced the entire world and all the world's airlines employees that it's okay to poison their own groundwater in some sort of mass mind control experiment, right? And apparently, judging by this guy, the only way to thwart off this mind control agent is to work part-time at Whole Foods and live in your mom's basement, right? And that's always the moment in the conversation where the guy goes, dude, they already got to you. It's like, you know what, dude, you can believe what you want, man. You can keep your eyes closed and stay asleep with the rest of the fucking sheeple, all right? But I'm woke, all right? And I can tell you for a fact, this is a government conspiracy, man. They are trying to drug us to keep us all pacified. That shit's real, bro. Let's go hit this drum circle. All right. Do they have drum circles in Atlanta? I don't know. This weekend they probably do, yes. You know, 97% of the world's climate scientists agree that climate change is real, and the majority of it is man-caused. 97% of the experts in the world on that subject agree to that fact. However, the majority of Republicans in Congress do not buy it. What do they tell us? They tell us that we have to wait for the science. The science is undecided. We got to wait for the science to come in, and we have to be scientific about it. Meanwhile, every year, record temperatures. Polar ice caps virtually gone. The water levels are rising. The water temperature is rising. We've had more crazy weather patterns than we've ever seen. In the last 5 years, we've had more F5 giant tornadoes go through Tornado Alley than any time in history. And that's not caused by climate change. No. That's caused by gay people fucking. That is literally what they say. Just so you got the science correct on that one. But listen to that language, though, because if there's any gay people here, please pay attention. Because the Bible Belt and Tornado Alley are the same fucking place. So every time you have sex, God punishes a red state, okay? So get to fucking gay people. We've got an election coming up, all right? You need to get God angry. You need to do so much fucking he wipes out a polling station in Tulsa or something. You have to help us out. Seriously, gay people, help us out. You got to take one for the team. You know what I mean? Have an orgy. Take two for the team. I don't even care. Just come on, gay people. We need your help. Have you ever noticed that every time a tornado goes through one of those areas, it always wipes out an entire trailer park, and it always leaves one standing. And they always find that asshole and interview that guy on the news. And this is every interview. The guy's like, oh, man, it was crazy, man. Tornado came through here last night, man. It just wiped everybody out, man. It decimated the whole area. It destroyed it killed all my neighbors. The ones that are alive, they got nothing left, man. Everyone's dead, man. It left me standing. God is good. He's like, what? He sounds like a dick, right? And so do you, right? But then I thought about, how do I know he wasn't up the night before? Dear Lord, I fucking hate my neighbors. God damn it, Bill's an asshole. And I just got a 13th kid coming along the way. I would love to have a bigger backyard, and front yard would be not, side yards would be great. In fact, if you could just see to it tonight that a tornado could come through here and just kill everybody around me, that would be fantastic. Amen. P.S. Have you heard about the gay people fucking? I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but if that gives you a little bit of help. I don't know. I don't get the Christians. The hate for the gays it's crazy to me. In Colorado, Fort Collins, we had the gay cake incident, right? The guy wouldn't bake a cake for a gay couple's wedding. And he said it's because he was a Christian and it violated his beliefs to have to work for a gay couple. His work was supporting a gay marriage, so therefore he violated his religious beliefs because he's against gay people. And my first thought was, you are a cake decorator. That is the gayest fucking job ever. That's like going, I will not have gay people come into my store. I do not believe in homosexuality. I will not have gay people in my store. Sir, this is a Judy Garland memorabilia shop, okay? You make rainbow sequin chaps, okay? Let's know your audience, but. It's weird though, because you think he doesn't stop. He says that he doesn't want to. That it's a Christian thing, but I'm pretty sure a lot of weddings are on Saturday. He's working on the Sabbath, right? He doesn't seem to care about that. Yeah. Do you think he asked if people have been married before, if they've had sex before marriage? Does he check to see if they have tattoos? Probably not, right? But he goes, no, it's not about being gay, man. It's really not. He goes, in fact, I'll make them any cake, just not a wedding cake. I'll make them a birthday cake. That's what he said. He goes, I'll make them a birthday cake. He goes, of course, it would have to be cherry filled, because I have to do something with all these cherries I've been picking. But, that's a fun place to put those damn cherries. Leanne mentioned a couple times, we have Nazis in America now, like literal Nazis walking around with tiki torches, shouting, the Jews will not replace us. The Jews will not, some hillbilly. The Jews will not replace us. Yeah, no shit, Cletus. I know many Jewish people, and none of them want to work part-time as a janitor in a coal mine and fuck your cousin, okay? So you're right. They don't want to replace you. You will not be replaced, hillbilly, sorry. You might be replaced by a machine in both instances, but... I don't get why are they're so obsessed with being replaced. It's so weird. You hear well, we got to preserve the white race because, why? I don't get it. Like what? So in 2,000 years, the idea is that if the race mixing happens and in 2,000 years, there will just be one brown race or beige, gray race, whatever. And somehow that affects them somehow now. I don't know. Because they always say that, like the Mexicans will not replace us and the Jews will not. And I think maybe they think that they're actually physically going to be replaced now in the, right? Like it's some sort of 80s Taster's Choice coffee commercial, right? Where they're like, we've secretly replaced Cletus with Jose the gardener. Let's see if his wife notices in bed tonight. He's back there like, Janet never has a second orgasm at home. She's like, I never have a first orgasm at home. It's weird, man. Like, talking about the way that people cherry pick stuff. I always find it weird when people refer to God as our Heavenly Father. That's always a strange. It's our heavenly, because it makes me think, what if God was our literal father? Right? Like our actual dad, you come home to, and that, because he's kind of fucked up. Look at the things you can't do, right? Like you said, you can't eat shellfish, you can't have pork, you can't work on a Saturday, you can't touch a woman or anything a woman's touched if she's been on her period, right? Like these things are punishable by death and burned for all eternity in hell, right? Not time out, right? Not lose your allowance for a week, young man. Eternal hellfire, I thought my dad was harsh when he once beat me with a Lincoln log for fighting with my sister over the Barbie dream car, okay? It's got nothing on this asshole, right? And that's what I thought about. I'm like, think about it. If God was our actual literal father, Child Protective Services would be all over his ass, right? And that's when it occurred to me, maybe that's what the devil is. Child Protective Services. It makes a lot of sense, right? He's always trying to lure us away from our Heavenly Father, and it would explain why hell sucks so bad. It's an underfunded government program, okay? The devil's down there like, look, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry, okay? I get it. It's hot down here, okay? We're in the basement. I apologize. Maybe, Bob, we could, if we could get the 1% to pay their fucking fair share, we could put in, I don't know, an air conditioner, put out some of these fires. I don't know. Look, I'd like to bring back Casual Fridays. It's not in the budget, all right? I don't know. I'm just saying, I would love to see that. I would love to see that play out, that custody battle, right? On like court TV or something. The people versus God, right? Some slick TV attorney, walk in Mr. Yahweh. Is it okay if I call you Yahweh? I know how you get testy about the way people refer to you. I see you're represented here by the finest legal team money can buy, the law offices of Frankincense, Murstein, and Goldberg. But I only have one question for you, sir. Is it not true that you sentenced your own son to die and to be burned for all eternity in hell for, and excuse me, please correct me if I'm wrong, but sharing a park bench with a woman? Got to be like, yeah, that's true. But in my defense, She was unclean, okay? She was Lady Time, Shark Week, whatever you guys want to call it. Ooh, gross. Sorry, folks. Ladies, I apologize. As your God, that was not an intelligent design, okay? I fucked that one up. I must have been drunk drinking. I don't know what's going on. I will swear to it myself on a stack of my books that I fucked that one up. Yes. Mr. Yahweh, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, infinite punishments for finite crimes. It seems in his household, it's either Yahweh I don't even need to finish that, do I? For the slow people or the highway. All right. I love reading. I'm an atheist, but I love reading about religion. I love reading any book I can. I was in the bookstore the other day. I saw a book in there called Christianity for Dummies, and I thought, oh, the irony. I do have a big library of books. I have like a whole room of books. I guess that's kind of like a library. Tons of books in my house. And I have a good Christian friend who always wants to argue with me about them. It drives me nuts. He'll come to my house and he'll like find a book that is a hot topic for him or whatever. And and one day he was coming to my house and he goes, and it was a Richard Dawkins book. I don't remember which one it was, but he was like, Richard Dawkins. Because you like this guy? This guy's an idiot. This guy's a moron. I'm like, well, he's an evolutionary biologist and he's an author and a professor. He's hardly a moron. You may not agree with him, but he's definitely not an idiot. He goes, he's got nothing to say. He's got no new arguments. I go, oh, okay, well, okay. Well, I'd love to hear you refute any of his arguments. Anyone, pick one. Pick the easiest one. Pick the one that when you read through the book, you said to yourself, this is garbage. I could smash this. Give me your rebuttal. Go. And my friend goes, well, I haven't read the book. I'm like, oh, go figure. A Christian who's got fervent beliefs about a book he's never actually read. This is Skeptrack, isn't it? It's not Christian track tonight, isn't it? Because it's going to get worse. You guys hear about the Catholic Church in trouble again? They can't keep out of the fucking news. An archbishop got busted. This archbishop got busted because he had 85,000 images and videos of kids on his computer. 85,000. Now look, I've been on the internet pretty much since Al Gore invented it, okay? And I have never, not even a single time, ever come across child pornography. I've never even met anyone who's ever seen child pornography. And this guy had 85,000, right? And my friend points out to me, goes, well, dude, that's because you don't spend any time on the dark web. Yeah, no shit. I didn't even know there was such a thing as the dark web. How is it that every 90-year-old priest has a login and a password? That's what I want to know. It's like Staff of God 47. Click. Password, kneel before me. Oh, yeah. High five. Because I go talk to these guys. I really do. I like to go talk to them. I like to go find out what they think about science and technology, the age of the earth, right? I really want to know, what do you think? So I go and talk to them. And every time I talk to them, they act like they've never fucking heard of Google. You know what I mean? They're like, what? Science? Never heard of it. A book? Don't know what a book is. No. Computer? Don't know what a computer. All my information comes from the Bible. This is all my information. All I need right here comes from the Bible. Every single thing I know comes from the Bible. This is the only thing I need. I don't have science or a computer. I don't know any of that kind of. Just everything I need to know comes from the Bible. Then when it comes to downloading a terabyte of kiddie porn, suddenly they become Bill Gates, Edward Snowden, and Jared from Subway, all rolled up into one computer genius super pedophile, right? Like last week, they didn't know what Wikipedia was. This week, they're hacking into the NAMBLA mainframe to find circa 1980s naked Gary Coleman pictures that the authorities will later find on a desktop folder aptly titled Different Strokes, right? Like a... It's a decent joke. I like it. A few years ago, 3 years ago exactly, I got to do, I went and did the Reason Rally. Those of you familiar with the Reason Rally, it was really cool. Yeah, it was fun. Actually, Leanne was out there with me, but at the time when I first went out there, they weren't sure what was going on, and Margaret Cho was actually supposed to be like featured, and she got sick, so they called me and they said, hey, you're going to take Margaret Cho's spot on the main stage, like 3 o'clock. You're going to be the only comedian doing a set on the main stage. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like really excited because the time that they did it before, they had like 30,000 people there, right? And I told my friend, he goes, dude, that's amazing. He's like, you, an atheist comedian, doing atheist comedy in front of 30,000 atheists? He goes, man, when you come back, you're going to be like a god in the atheist community. I'm like, dude, I already am like a god in the atheist community. None of them know I exist, and those that do don't give a fuck about anything I have to say. So, mission accomplished. People think I'm mean to Christians. I don't mean to be. I really don't. I actually think the world would be a much better place if more Christians were more Christ-like. Do you guys agree with that? Yes? The world would be a much better place if more Christians were more Christ-like. Of course, by that I mean imaginary. But, what? Maybe that's why people think I'm mean to Christians. I don't know. I'll tell you this story, and then I'll do a little bit, and then we'll get out of here. I haven't done this story in a long time, like many years. I'm going to tell this story because I love telling this story, and it really sums up. I opened up talking about my daughter. I'm going to close talking about my daughter. My daughter is awesome. I love her. Like, she's 14 now. When she was a kid, she did so many things that were just amazing to me. When I was doing my very first ever hour TV special, I was trying to write all this material, and I wanted to come up with something about the concept of original sin. And I couldn't write it. I was trying to come up with a joke, and I was like, oh, that's been done. That's derivative, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm in the car, driving my daughters in the back, talking to my friend on the phone, like speakerphone, trying to come up with some ideas. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Nothing was working. I'm like, shit, I can't come up with something for original sin. So I hung up the phone, and my daughter in the back goes, Dad, what is original sin? What are you talking about? I go, well, you know what? You've never been exposed to the Bible. You don't know the characters in the Bible. It's not going to make any sense to you. I said, I can just kind of give you an analogy. And she goes, that's fine. I said, okay. How do I explain this to you? All right, look, you know how I always don't like you putting your fingers in your food? She goes, yeah. I said, okay, imagine I said, Bella, do not put your fingers in your food. And if you do, the next time you do it, I'm going to punish everybody by running around the world and punching people in their face. And a few weeks go by and we're eating dinner and you put your fingers in your food. I'm like, what are you doing? I told you not to put your fingers in your food, and now I have to punch everybody. And that's what I do. I walk around the earth and I'm just fucking punching people in their face. And I'm punching people and people are like, why are you punching me? I'm like, I'm punching you in your face because she put her fingers in her food. That's called justice, right? And I'm punching people in the face. And after a while, like, a couple of thousand years or, a few million, depending on whose book you read, I think to myself, I might be being a tad bit irrational. So I'm going to have another child, this time a son, and I'm going to punch him in the face so that I don't have to punch everybody else. So I have this baby, and that's what I do. I walk around the earth, and I'm punching this baby in the face, and people are like, oh, my God, why are you punching a baby in the face? I'm like, I'm punching this baby in the face so that I don't have to punch you in the face because she put her fingers in her food, right? And my daughter starts cracking up because she knows I'm a comedian. She goes, Daddy, stop it. That's funny, but can you just tell me the real story? Can you please tell me what really happened? I was like, all right, fine. So God creates these two people, Adam and Eve, and he puts them in this garden. And he says, do not eat this fruit from the tree of knowledge. It's a tree of knowledge. If you eat the fruit, we can't have you like learning or thinking. That would fuck up my game for the rest of the time. So don't do that. And so they go, okay, cool. And then a little while goes by and a talking snake comes along. And he says, nah, don't worry about that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Go and eat the fruit. So, Eve eats the fruit, and God goes, what are you doing? I told you not to eat the fruit. And he goes, now I'm going to have to punish everybody for all eternity. I'm going to send them to hell. And that's it. If you're born, you go to hell. I'm sorry, you're born. She ate the fruit. I'm sorry. And that's what he does. You're born, you go to hell. You're born. That's how it works. You're born, you go to hell unless you do this. That's just kind of how it works. And then after a couple thousand years or a few million, depending on whose book you read, God says to himself, I might be being a tad bit irrational, so I'm going to have another child, a son, and murder him so that you don't have to go to hell because this chick ate some fruit. And that's the moment my daughter gets really mad in the backseat. She goes, Daddy, stop it. I said quit being funny. Now tell me what really happened. And I just looked at her, I was like, baby girl, that is the appropriate response to that story. So I'm going to do this now. I'm going to go. You guys have been great. Thank you guys so much. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out. Thank you. And one more time for Leanne and Tracy, please. Nice and loud. Take my glasses off for this. All right, so I love science, man. I realize, though, that we're not getting the message out. I don't know why we're not getting the message out to people, but we aren't. Well, then I realized why we're not, because we're not teaching it properly. We're America is into what? Certain things. Like we love tits and ass. We love guns, explosions, car races. We love sound bites, right? In sensationalism. We love summer blockbuster movies. And I realize that's the only way we're ever going to get science to the public is by infusing it into summer blockbuster movies. So that's what I've done. This is my pitch. I'm going to give you guys my trailer pitch here for a summer blockbuster movie about climate change. Okay, here we go. This is a summer blockbuster about climate change. This summer, the world is heating up. Literally. Starring Jason Statham as Mike Pence and Donald Trump as the president. Mr. President, do you have an idea what's going to happen if we don't get climate change and global warming under control? We are going to be fucked. And when I say fucked, I mean proper fucked. Listen up, okay? Nobody understands climate change like me, okay? Nobody. Okay, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go down to Antarctica, okay? I hear they got a lot of cold air down there, all right? That's what I'm hearing, okay? I don't know, the scientists love me. The scientists are telling me there's a lot of cold air down there. We're going to go down to Antarctica. We're going to gather up some of that cold air, and then we're just going to comb it up over the rest of the world, okay? It's going to be huge. Tremendous. Starring Dave Chappelle as former President Barack Obama. Damn, man! That is the most ridiculous plan I've ever heard. And as the first black president, let me just say that I am honored that when the world ends, it's going to be on this cracker's watch, right? And might I also say to Melania, damn, you got some nice titties. I wasn't going to say nothing at first, but I swore an oath to uphold the truth. Starring John Malkovich as Bill O'Reilly. You know, the liberals will tell you that science has everything figured out. But the tide goes in, the tide goes out. No one knows how it happens. And they'll also tell you that the world is heating up. But this morning I walked outside of my house and it was fucking snowing. Starring Gilbert Gottfried as Senator James Inhofe. Okay, what's the deal with this whole global warming? The whole idea is crazy. I think if God wants it to be hot, it'll be hot. If God wants it to be cold, it'll be cold. I think God wants us all to go by swimming pools and have an endless summer. I love swimming. I love summer, so suck it. And I haven't seen a single report come across my desk about the climate, the global warming. The whole idea is fracking ridiculous. Yes, I said fracking. It's product placement. This will be for 4 people here. Starring Terrence Howard as Al Gore. Hey, man. Hey, Inhofe, man. What's this bullshit right here, man? Is this my report on global warming? Hey? Tell me this shit just fell out your fucking pocket, man. Hey, no, bitch, tell me this shit just fell out your motherfucking pocket. Tell me that my report on global warming ending up in the toilet is just another inconvenient truth. Starring Robert De Niro and Michael Douglas as the Koch brothers. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, you know, a lot of people are going to tell you that my brother and I are a couple of greedy businessmen out to harm the environment to turn a profit. But let's not forget the immortal words of Gordon Gekko when I say to you that for all intents and purposes, greed is good. Greed's good, huh? No. Yes, it is. Greed is good. Greed's fucking good, huh? I'm good. He's good. We're good, huh? If you don't believe me, you can end up at the back of my fucking trunk, huh? It's an SUV. starring Charlie Sheen. Hi, actually, I'm not even in this movie, but I heard someone say Koch brothers, so I came running. Apparently I had the wrong idea. Starring Bruce Willis as head of science, Ted Cruz. Listen up, everyone. I read the report. Global warming's real, pal. There's only one way we can stop it. We gotta arm everyone in America and blast a hole in those greenhouse gases. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Starring Keanu Reeves, Owen Wilson, and Matthew McConaughey. I am an astronaut. And there's only one way to solve this problem. We've got to load everybody onto a rocket ship and go and colonize Mars. Space dust. Wow, man. Colonize Mars, man. What a great fucking plan, amigo. Except for one problem, man. It'll never work, man. You've gone crazy, man. You've gone loco, S.A. Well, all right. Colonize Mars. Well, that plan sounds interstellar. You know the greatest thing about space travel? Everyone else gets older. I stay the same age. Starring Cat Williams and Jeff Goldblum as the EPA. Mr. President, we have got to do something about this global warming bullshit. Motherfucker, we have got to get ourselves a star motherfucking player. We have got to get ourselves a Neil deGrasse Tyson. Where the fuck is Neil? Yes, Neil Tyson. Yes, that's a great idea. I love Neil Tyson. Yes, he's fantastic. Unfortunately, yes, Neil Tyson has gone crazy. America's lack of science understanding has made Neil go insane. He now lives on the streets, and he thinks he's Gary Busey. All right, how you doing? All right, good to see you. Neil deBusey Tyson, good to meet you. Look, you want to solve this whole problem about climate change, you got to look at the word climate. CLIMATE. Can't live in massively aggravated temperature environment. Fucking boom. Mic drop. The fuck are you people doing in my living room? And starring, for no other reason other than he's in every great movie and every bad impression bit, Christopher Walken as the right-wing climate scientist. It's crazy what they're saying, about, climate change and global warming. It's bullshit. They're going to tell you, that the world's heating up. It's not true. They're also going to tell you that, the polar ice caps are melting. It's true. It's, I've done the research, and, the ice caps are not melting. What's happening is that we as a society are just enjoying more drinks on the rocks these days. And that's where the ice is going, into the drinks. So next time, someone says to you, hey, it's hot, you say to them, cheers. Get in your Hummer and drive as fast as you can to see climate denial. Not only is it not a river in Egypt, but there is no longer a river in Egypt. Thank you guys very much. Have a great night. Appreciate you coming out.